Here we're starting with a plain, empty Google Slides deck, the raw material we're going to transform. Now we're over in Claude Design, where we'll attach our slides file and describe what we want to build. Here we're picking a design system so Claude keeps our presentation on brand from the start. Let's quickly peek at the settings where we can tweak appearance and how the Enter key behaves. Notice how we've switched to light mode and can see our saved design systems ready to reuse. With our design system locked in, we're ready to tell Claude exactly what we need. Now we're starting to write our prompt, greeting Claude and setting up the context for the talk. Here we're giving Claude the full backstory, the event, the organizers, and who's involved. Let's jump to Luma to pull the real event details, our Codex Community Meetup in Toronto. Back in our actual deck, we can see the existing Codex Ambassador slides we want to elevate. Claude has saved our agenda, and now we're explaining that we already have about 20 slides to work from. Claude asks us to share the slides, so we're starting to hand over our content a few slides at a time. Here we're kicking things off by handing Claude our raw slides and explaining that 3 separate slides should become one clean opener. Now we're giving Claude a moment to think through the assets while it studies the content and design direction. While that runs, we hop over to Luma to pull the real event details behind our meetup. Here we're browsing the MakersLounge site, heading toward its branding to grab an authentic logo asset. Look at that first polished slide come to life, with the agenda on a Codex blue card and slots ready for our logos. Back in the original deck, we hit a Microsoft 365 storage pop-up, so we'll just skip past it to keep working. Now we're in Canva, digging through recent designs to source the brand assets we'll feed into Claude. Here we right-click a slide image in the source deck to copy it out for reuse in our redesigned version. Now we're using Google Keep as a quick scratch pad to stash and organize the pieces we're gathering. Here we search Google Images for the Rootly logo to grab a crisp version for the sponsor slots. Now we're confirming the Codex brand by searching it up so our logos and wording stay accurate. Finally, we save down the OpenAI Codex logo directly from image search so we can drop it straight into the deck. Here we're hunting down the official Codex logo on Google Images, so we have a clean, real asset to drop into our slide. Now we're handing Claude the actual MakersLounge, Rootly, and Codex logos and telling it exactly how we want each one styled. Next, we're looking for a nice Codex blue background image to give the deck that polished, branded feel. We found one we like, so we're saving that background image straight into our downloads to use in a moment. We're back in image search, comparing a few OpenAI backgrounds to pick the strongest one for our slide. Over in the original Google Slides, we can see the plain starting deck and Hamza's note asking us to clean up the styling. Claude wired in the real logos, and now we're asking it to add the MakersLounge icon to the left of its wordmark. The blue MakersLounge icon now sits right beside its name, and we're lining up our next refinement request. Here we're fine-tuning the logo lockup, asking Claude to balance the weights and sizes so everything feels even. Now we're pulling up the next slide, the one explaining how a goal keeps working until the outcome is verified. And here we're searching for a vibrant background to match the Rootly branding for its section of the deck. Here we're browsing Rootly's site to grab real brand visuals and context we can pull into the deck. Now we're back in Claude, confirming slide 1 looks polished before we tell it to move on to the next slide. Notice how slide 2 came together with a clean 2-column layout while Claude keeps working on our request. Claude just finished a new version, so we get that new version ready nudge to reload and see the update. Here we hop over to Google Slides to pull up our original Codex deck as the reference material. Now we're seeing slide 3 appear, a diagram of how a goal loops through work, check, and next step until it's verified. Notice a 4th slide has quietly been drafted in the sidebar, while Claude tells us it's ready to keep going. Here Claude is already writing the next slide, where goals work best, building on the deck's momentum. Now we're looking at slide 5, a tidy table showing where the goal command shines with concrete, verifiable examples. Here we hand Claude 2 screenshots for the upcoming demo slide and let it start working them in. Notice Claude scaffolds a 2-image demo slide and drops in our first screenshot right where it belongs. Now we're sending the second image so Claude can fill the right slot and complete our side-by-side demo slide. Here we watch Claude verify its own edits, confirming the slide 5 overlap was a false positive and bumping up a tiny label on slide 3. Now we hand Claude the next slide and notice how it first studies the existing styling so the new diagram will match perfectly. Claude has built slide 7, the per-round agent loop, matching the source with 3 boxes and a loop-back arrow. Slide 7 is confirmed in place, and we're ready to keep moving down the deck to the next section. Next, we add a clean demo section divider, centered in bold, giving the deck a natural breathing point. Here we can see the new demo divider slide sitting in the thumbnail rail, matching the rest of the deck's styling. Now we're feeding Claude the next slide reference so it can keep building out the demo results section. Claude is now drafting the Demo 1 Results slide, refining the design and taking screenshots to check its work as it goes. Now we switch over to Gemini, where we're about to ask it to clean up an image we want to use in the deck. Here Gemini has stripped the text out of our image, leaving a clean texture that we can download full size. Back in Claude, all 9 slides are confirmed in place, and we're about to hand over those cleaned up images. Now we drop both images, the simulation and the target track, into the reward function slide, and Claude wires them into the slots. Here we're back in Claude Design, and notice how it caught that the images came in cropped, so it's reconstraining them to a proper 16:9 frame. Now Claude confirms both images read as clean landscape frames, and slide 10 is finished, so we hand it the next 2 slides. Notice how Claude studies an existing slide to match its layout, choosing the bullets left, image right pattern as the closest fit. Claude scaffolds slide 11, laying out the reinforcement learning bullets, plus slots for the diagram and the robot image. Now we switch over to Gemini to clean up an image asset, asking it to remove the text so we get a clean background. Back in Claude, slide 11 comes together beautifully, with the loop diagram and the robot image both wired in and captioned. Now Claude scaffolds slide 12 for the reward function, setting up a center image slot, then asks us for the annotated robot image. Here, slide 12 is complete, with the annotated robot image in place and the encourages versus penalizes columns clearly laid out. Now Claude builds slide 13 as a behavior loop diagram, and notice it runs a design check to catch any visual issues before moving on. Here's the finished behavior loop slide, and Claude immediately scaffolds slide 14 with 2 image slots for the reference run in simulation. Now Claude reports both images are already wired into the slide, so slide 14 lands complete with its command block. Here we keep the momentum going, feeding Claude the next pair of images as it starts writing the visual feedback slide. Here we're on the behavior loop slide, while Claude finishes wiring up slide 15's before and after frames. Claude confirms slide 15 is finished, bumps the text to a projection-safe size, and starts checking the whole deck for design issues. Claude keeps scanning the design for problems while we get ready to feed it the next slide's images. We give Claude a moment here to keep reviewing the layout before moving on to the next slide. Now we hop over to Google Slides to grab the source images from our recent decks. Back in Claude, we send 3 frames and it scaffolds slide 16 with before, improved, and reference caption slots ready to fill. We pop back to Google Slides once more to pull the exact images Claude needs for that slide. Claude wires all 3 images into their slots and reports slide 16 done, with before, improved, and reference all in place. There's the finished behavior shift slide with all 3 frames placed, and we tell Claude that's the last one before asking for a polish pass. The Descript app briefly interrupts us with an update required screen while it downloads the newest version. Now we ask Claude to take the whole deck to a world-class level, attaching the front-end design skill to guide the polish. While Claude works, we peek at the appearance settings, tweaking the Codex light and dark themes, and dialing in the contrast. Here we're digging into which libraries give Codex that polished feel, and Claude confirms most of the stack is open source. Now we're handing Claude the real ask: make this deck world-class, and pasting in the best-in-class front-end libraries to design around. Notice how Claude inspects the current structure first, spotting the fonts and suggesting we move the whole deck onto Vercel's Geist typeface. Here Claude applies the font change across the whole deck, then takes a screenshot to check that Geist is rendering crisply. The deck is now fully typeset in Geist, and Claude keeps going, checking the whole design for any remaining issues. Now we're reviewing the polished slides one by one, with Claude flagging findings and giving us the option to undo anything we don't like. Here we spot that some images rendered too short, so we ask Claude directly to increase their height. Now we're using the markup tool to point right at the slide, telling Claude these image slots need an explicit, taller height. Here we finish the note, and Claude digs into the component to figure out why the height isn't taking effect. Now we hop over to Gemini to clean up an asset, asking it to remove the text from this soft background image. Back in Claude, the fix lands. The three images are now a full 480 pixels tall and showing the complete robots and reference clip. Notice how clean the title slide looks now, and Claude keeps hunting down the remaining images to make sure every slide is dialed in. Here we're back in Claude Design, and Claude has just finished making both images on the RL Basics slide taller so they read clearly. Now we're asking Claude to fix the next slide, giving that tall robot diagram clearance from the bullets and telling it not to crop the image. Notice how this before and after slide now lines up three clean comparison images, while Claude works through the last of our layout fixes. Here we've stepped back to the Claude Design home, where you can see our finished Codex Meetup deck saved alongside the templates. Now we're opening the Share menu, where you can copy a link, adjust who can access the deck, or export it to hand off to others. And here's the payoff: the polished deck exported straight into PowerPoint, with every card and layout still crisp and fully editable. And that's a wrap. We took a plain Google Slides deck, let Claude redesign and polish it slide by slide, and exported a presentation-ready PowerPoint.